Hey guys, it's Craig at Area 419, and it's finally time to introduce to you officially the Area 419 Tactical One-Piece Scope Mount. Let's dig into it. Key features of the Tactical One-Piece Scope Mount that come over from the matched scope rings are the final bore internal surfaces. So what this is, if you're not familiar, when we're making these parts, we're making them traditionally, sending them all out to anodize as disparate parts, bringing them back, but then we finally assemble and fully assemble this mount, put it back into a machine so that the internal surfaces here can be bored as a match set. So when you're receiving this scope mount, it is exactly the way that it was final bored in the machine. We can know that our internal mounting surfaces are perfectly round, they're perfectly straight to one another, and they are left in that raw aluminum finish, which gives you better grab onto the optic. We also brought across the guide pin system. This is a pin on each side of each cap that, as you tighten, is going to help bring that cap straight down. You're going to be able to avoid a lot of that twisting and turning you can find in your optic as you tighten, and that's going to make that experience more solid and simpler for you. New features here, obviously, because this is a one-piece mount. It's relatively lightweight, so I'm holding in my hand one of the 35mm medium heights. This thing is meaningfully under 8 ounces, 7.6 ounces or so, as it sits with the short Picatinny section. This is lightweight in its class. There's not going to be anything on the market that's substantively lighter, and there are many things that are quite a bit heavier. So if you're looking for something that saves you an ounce or 2 ounces here and there, this is it for you. We have 2 separate cleats at the bottom, which allow us to get more grabbing surface on a rail. It's using the same stainless steel, precision-made in-house hardware in both the cross pins and bottom, as well as the securing pins for your optic caps. These all use the same size Torx, so you can have one tool or one bit that does all of this work. We've also not left any additional material that we didn't need in the bottom. So you're going to find additional space maybe above or below if you're looking for a leveling or ascendant level. We also took our attachment cleats and moved them in one slot. So the mounts that have these cleats that move all the way to the ends take up more and more of that real estate on top of your action. By moving these in a bit, you might find some found real estate for a level or a dope card or anything that you like to have attached to your action while your one-piece mount is on the system. And now, finally, the most important part, and what we'll spend a little bit of time on here, is the attachment system to the front cap. So all of the mounts will come with this single lug or single slot Picatinny rail. You can attach a simple red dot sight to this, or if you have a dope card or a level or something else you want on top, they're all going to come this way. But what's underneath here is our patent pending dual tapered stud system that allows us with the diving board to get a mount system that is stronger, more true, and importantly, more repeatable than anything we found on the market. You know, as we got into creating this product, laser rangefinders, something like a Raptor on top of a one-piece scope mount is a popular item, but other scope mount systems or other mount systems, they might have some wobble, some play to them. It might be a complex system where you're adding caps or adding additional parts. We knew that because of the robustness of the mount, we could take this and really refine what's happening on top of the cap. So these are 2 in-series male tapered studs that have a match on the bottom of the diving board. And as we've designed this, when you push this down, you're going to feel those tapers start to mate, and you're going to see just a bit of air gap between these 2 items. We're manufacturing them in a way where this air gap is meant to be there. You will actually draw down the diving board until you get dual contact between the tapers and the flat surfaces on top of the cap. This gets us something that, again, is ultra rigid, it's ultra repeatable, and that amount of drawdown or that amount of crush, you can take this thing off, you can put it back on many times without seeing any sort of wear. You know, this is that little bit of spring or give or elastic deformation that you can find in aluminum surfaces that let us get into a true dual contact that is ultra rigid and is going to outperform anything in its class in repeatability and rigidity on top of a front ring. We'll go into another video about how specifically you install the diving board, because it is a little bit of a process. We want to make sure you do it right, because there are a lot of things in play here that if you're not careful or you get ham-handed with something, you could have problems. But guys, that is our one-piece scope mount. These guys are available immediately in 30, 34, and 35 millimeter tube sizes in medium and high heights. 36 will follow relatively soon as well, along with some different heights and possibly even cantilevered options in the next handful of months. Guys, this is a really cool product. We think it's going to make a difference for people that are looking for a little bit something extra in their one-piece scope mounts, or especially somebody who is looking for a diving board system that is ultra rigid and ultra repeatable, as we look at some cool new things coming in the gun-mounted laser rangefinder community. If you've got any questions, go to the link below. It's going to be our product description, has a ton of details, or drop your questions in the comments and we'll do everything we can to answer them. Let us know what you think.